Okay, so what's not included with the kit is the offset block that is necessary. When you go from the Mustang one, if you're doing the conversion, you can see that these two pieces are substantially different. The block is longer, meant for the rectangular shift box. So there's no way that you can salvage the original and make it fit. Okay, there's just no way. So you're required with theirs to purchase an additional part to make it fit, to make the shift box pivot point correct. Now, when we do our tail shaft housings, you're allowed to use or are encouraged to use, especially if you're going to use it in the back position here, the standard Mustang one. So again, you can salvage that part and transfer it over and just get the benefit of moving the shifter 6 inches. Now, what we do with ours is that we actually take the time to machine this hardened part, and we actually put 2 sockets in here. So we actually get the benefit of having the Mustang position and also the front socket. So we gain about 1.25 inches between the two. Now, in doing that, since our box is still a Mustang box, if you wanted to come up here in the front, you're going to have to buy one of our shifters designed for this pivot point, and we sell them. And so if you have to go this direction and you want that front section, you're going to buy a shifter regardless. But if you're going to just move the shifter to the back, it's inexpensive, get you within 1 inch of that location, you're in pretty good luck, or pretty good shape there. So some of the other comparisons about it, and again, we talk a little bit about that Speedo and location. So you can see in the casting how they're different. This one's below the center line, this one's above the center line using the Mustang. So you can take your standard forward cables, slides right in, put another driven gear on it, good to go. Whereas this, the other part that was not included, is you're going to need a GM driven gear and a GM insert to even get a connection, and then you're going to have to buy a conversion cable to make the connection from the meter down to the casting here, or this conversion. So a number of things to be addressed. Now, what is the same? This mounting point, we knew that this was kind of an established mounting point. We did use a GM, use the same location front to back. So if you've already had a pre-existing cross member that was designed maybe for an older S10 that's no longer serviceable, our unit will transfer right over. So that is the same. We did take a moment to not include this feature here. Again, we saw no use in that. Whenever we used to use them, these housings many years ago in early conversions, when we started this back in the 90s, we always lobbed these off, had to machine it, make it look pretty. Well, we just got rid of it completely. So ours gives you great ground clearance. Now, when you install one of these, the beauty is that it doesn't require a whole lot of effort. You're able to take a T5 housing off, be able to put the new shaft that we include in the kit, which is again not included with the tail shaft housing. So that's also added as part of the value of the kit that we sell. Or you can buy the transmission completely done by us, ready to go with a full warranty. If you want to send a transmission into us and have us service it for you, we certainly can do that and add the kit to it and convert it for you, shim it correctly, check it. While it's here, we can either service the transmission with new synchronizer bearings and seals, and that way you know it's ready to go because we've tested it here prior to leaving. But if you're doing it in your bench, you can simply take the housing off, take the top cover off, change out the Mustang's long shaft, put the short shaft shift rail in, and then you're able to put this back on. Now, we've held the tolerances of the landing to the OEM specifications, so there shouldn't be much change in the shimming requirement on the front of the transmission on the bearing retainer side. So as it goes together, you have an O-ring, seal it all up, and you're basically in business. So just really wanted to kind of show the differences, the reasons why we got away from this, both in supply and the problems to overcome. It was a problem where we couldn't sell you a unit or sell you a tail shaft housing and have you do it at home. With our tail shaft housing, we can do it at home, comes with instructions and tech support, so you're able to take this housing, do the work yourself, save a lot of money on labor and some of the other problems that have been shown here with the speedometer and the connections and sourcing the parts. Because, well, the other thing that again, you have to buy a part, you have to modify it here, probably pay a machinist good money to do so. So you add those costs up, this housing has a lot of value in it. So yes, it costs more up front. I kind of say pay once, cry once, but then you're always going to be happy from that point on. So I hope you found this tech information to be useful to you. Feel free to give us a ring at moderndriveline.com. Send us an email at sales@moderndriveline.com. And thanks for making it modern.